Thursday, May 26. Jacob leaves. In this story, Jacob, who deceived his father and his brother to acquire the family birthright, and who stole the blessing that Isaac designed to give to his elder son, nevertheless remained passive toward Laban and served him faithfully. Jacob knows well that he has been deceived by his father-in-law, and yet he let it go. It is difficult to understand Jacob's passivity, considering his temperament. Jacob could have revolted or at least resisted Laban or bargained with him, but he didn't. He just did what Laban asked, no matter how unfair it all was. Nevertheless, at the birth of Rachel's first son, Joseph, Jacob finally reached the 14th year of his service to Laban, Genesis 30:26, and now considers leaving Laban in order to return to the promised land. But Jacob is concerned about providing for his own house, Genesis 30:30. Read Genesis 30:25 to 32, and it says, Soon after Joseph was born to Rachel, Jacob said to Laban, I want to go back home. Let me take my wives and children, for I have earned them from you, and let me be on my way. You know I have fully paid for them with my service to you. Please don't leave me, Laban replied, for I have learned by divination that the Lord has blessed me because you are here. How much do I owe you? Whatever it is, I'll pay it. Jacob replied, You know how faithfully I have served you through these many years, and how your flocks and herds have grown. You had little indeed before I came, and your wealth has increased enormously. The Lord has blessed you from everything I do. But now, what about me? When should I provide for my own family? What wages do you want? Laban asked. Jacob replied, Don't give me anything at all. Just do one thing, and I'll go back to work for you. Let me go out among your flocks today and remove all the sheep and goats that are speckled or spotted, along with all the dark-colored sheep. Give them to me as my wages. What is happening here, and what kind of reasoning does Jacob use? What is Laban's response? It had been a very long detour for Jacob, who had long been gone from home. It probably had not been his original intention to stay away from his country for so long, but events kept him away for years. It's now time to return home, and what a family he will return with, too. Meanwhile, Jacob's unnatural compliance suggests that Jacob has perhaps changed. He has understood the lesson of faith, that is, Jacob waits for God's signal to go. It is only when God speaks to him that Jacob decides to move. God reveals himself to Jacob as the God of Bethel, and commands Jacob to leave Laban's house and return to your family. Genesis 31:13. With the same words as God used to call Abraham to leave from your family, Genesis 12:1. What helped him see that it was time to go, too, was the attitude of Laban's sons and Laban himself, Genesis 31:1 and 2. Jacob would have left his crafty kinsmen long before, but for the fear of encountering Esau. Now he felt that he was in danger from the sons of Laban, who, looking upon his wealth as their own, might endeavor to secure it by violence. Patriarchs and Prophets, page 193. Hence, he took his family and possessions and left, thus beginning another phase in the great saga of God's covenant people. From the book Patriarchs and Prophets, page 192. It says, "As time passed on, Laban became envious of the greater prosperity of Jacob, who increased exceedingly and had much cattle and maidservants and manservants and camels and asses. Laban's sons shared their father's jealousy, and their malicious speeches came to Jacob's ear. He hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before." From the book The Story of Redemption, page 90 and 91, it says, "Jacob was distressed. He knew not which way to turn. He carried his case to God and interceded for direction from him. The Lord mercifully answered his distress prayer. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father hath been with me. And you know that with all my power I have served your father, and your father hath deceived me, and changed my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me. Jacob related to them the dream given him of God to leave Laban, and go unto his kindred. Rachel and Leah expressed their dissatisfaction of their father's proceedings, as Jacob rehearsed his wrongs to them, and proposed to leave Laban. Rachel and Leah said to Jacob, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of him as strangers? For he hath sold us, and hath quite devoured also our money. For all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's. Now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do."